It gives you the boldness and confidence. An educated person with full confidence and boldness may address the problems of the community better with wisdom. An educated person does not talk anyhow, because the education transforms the mouth and transforms the brain. No kind of word comes out of you. But say that, just like in Abba, there's a statement you hear. They will say it's a drug man. So it gives you boldness. You can address the problem of community. There is somebody that come to address the problem, the youths. They will fight him. So that is where I keep on telling people, what you do today may come back tomorrow. Wash your hands, apply conscience, and make sure that where you are is the right place. So you can address the problem. And another thing, it creates a platform and a friendly atmosphere for interaction. I never knew Dr. K for the first time, but when we spoke, he had my background, I had his background. We became friends in diaspora. We became friends because it gives you a better understanding. It gives you a better understanding. So, it creates a platform and a friendly atmosphere for interaction. The person's status as an educated person creates an understanding platform for better and favorable discussions. If the community is headed by an elite, by the time there is a conflict or crisis, a conflict in the community, God will give him wisdom because of transformation of his brain as an elite. He will pick his weight, and at the end of the day, there's a better conflict resolution. But if you take an arrow to be the head, you keep on having that conflict. It becomes part of them. Are you getting me? We must encourage our people to go to school. Brother, what did I say? We must encourage our people to go to school. Better things are there than in the community. And when they go there, capture the thing, they bring it back home. Just like Dr. K went there, saw beautiful things, borrowed beautiful ideas, and brought it to favor our people. So that our people will be civilized and polished. But if you are dealing with that, all he will bring to you, he may see, he wouldn't know the relevance of suit. He will just draw you. Draw by a suit, looking for trouble. Useful foreign ideas that may sustain good economical, technological, that may have good economical, technological impact in the community development. Most people believe that it is easier to deal with an educated person than a non-educated person, because he has a wider scope of knowledge and intelligence. All of us, if we are all elites, you can't see quarrel. Conflict will be resolved with wisdom. Just one word. But if you are dealing with that, 1 year you are not through with the conflict resolution. It becomes part of us. But God forbid. And you can see what happens in Delta. Every day they are fighting with Shell or these people. Because those ones do not know what to do. So investors in those areas are scared. They chase them away. Yes, they don't have job. Why will you sow in my place? Without knowing, when you bring a company here, you employ their local staff. At the end of the day, 20 may be employed. You've done it. And the benefits of those investors are what you may not know. So, unlike a community with full towns and talks, no companies or industries thrive in that unexplainable. We should and unexplainable wonders. Wonders you cannot explain. You can't relate to anything. Joy that will continue to be in you throughout this period. Thank you, and God bless you.
Ndị Akirika n'ụmụakwụ na-eji akwa aka o. What a well-researched paper. In fact, this is grassroots. Prof, onukuponi aka. Ima accommodate our Royal Highness so that Oga Gaga to me. I'm a name when any question. Question again, Prof. Two questions. One from this side and one from this side. Also need a question. But my method. Almost all the people I am invite to come and speak, and many others honor this program. I've never been like that before. So, cultural dancers, please can you step in now? Please have your seat, they will serve you. The cultural dancers, please. Okay. What is holding them? What is holding them? Nigeria, man, we hear the mother setting, and we hear the mouth, and then we hear the my head in Masina Chabia. Anambra, man, we hear the Moimo State, and we hear the mouth, and then we hear the my head in Masina Chabia. Sati me we hear the ma Port Harcourt, we hear the ma, we hear the Masina Chabia. The members apostles so edechananka my reverend ministers gagage jikere maka echi so biko nde ani boku our guest biko onudele in a hurry to go enwenka anyị kwadebe honored na azu where we can entertain you so biko onudele in a hurry but sooner than later we will finish. Yeah, did you go? Certification. I want to hide some. Let it not be that I want to post. We have here somebody that is well read, legal luminary, associate professor. He was called to bar in 1990. That was, he started his legal practice in 1991. He joined at the State University as a lecturer, and he became associate professor before he was appointed as a high court judge in Abia State, 2016. Do you understand what I'm saying? High court what? Judge is in our midst and is from this community. Oh man, there's so many publications. I got in fact, I got my good challenge here, Bernanka. So I got a lot of please wait. With a resounding clap ovation, I want to make welcome Honorable Justice Chukwuidu Kesile Wangwa. You are welcome, sir.
Akirika Mmamano. Akirika Mmamano. By way of protocol, let me recognize Chief Stanley. You're welcome, sir. The chairman of the occasion. I've not seen you for a long time. You are still looking as young as the chairman of the occasion. Dave Festus, you're welcome. Professor Umani, Dr. Egejuru. Madam, you're welcome. Our Eze is not here, so I also recognize him. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the ATG, let me just start by saying that I want to thank the Almighty God for this opportunity to talk to you. It's not God for that. And I want to share my experiences to you so that you know that it is original. That's the way I think it is. For 20 years, I've taught students. The Attorney General was here yesterday. He was my student. I brought him here. When I was in the university, and when I was teaching students, you are a lawyer does not mean you should look for trouble. The fact that you're a judge does not mean you should look for trouble. Most of the time I try to hide myself because the lawyer and the judge should know better. They should know better. What is the essence of that course? The essence of that course is that, number one, like I've said, it is agreed, and we have agreed, that if there is no peace, there will be no development. That's one. Secondly, there will always be disputes. That's true. There will always be disputes. The issue is that we should try as much as possible to minimize disputes. I can worry disagreement. I can worry conflict. But we should try as much as possible to minimize it down and talk. Jimmy Carter said, unless both sides agree, no agreement is permanent. Unless both sides agree. So the first one, go home with it. The second one, understand and discuss the various aspects of development. We have been talking about it. Capital development, infrastructural development, was what is so said much about. So I'm not going into that. The third one, explain and discuss the indices or advantages of what is as equal advantages is there. But I'll go straight into 4. Identify the factors militating against development in a community. There are a lot of them, but I've just chosen one. Conflict, disputes. I'll tell you 2 stories before I comment. A woman died, and when he died, he found herself in heaven before the pearl gates. So when she was there, she met St. Peter, and St. Peter said, welcome to the gates of heaven. But before you go in, the Almighty God said, you have to answer a question. You have to spell a word. If you spell that word correctly, you come in. The woman said, what is that word? St. Peter said, love. The woman said, I love. L-O-V-E. St. Peter said, you're welcome to heaven. After some time, St. Peter told the woman, you have to come and stay here. The Almighty God said I should do certain things. So do what I have also asked you to do. When people come, tell them to spell a word. If they get it correctly, usher them into heaven. So the woman looked at and saw her ex-husband coming. What are you doing here? The man said, I just had a heart attack and died. He said, okay. My instruction is for you to spell a word. If you get it correctly, I usher you into heaven. The man said, say the word. And the woman said, Czechoslovakia. The truth is that the woman will go to heaven. Because all man in our girl spell Czechoslovakia. That's one. Number 2, I had a personal experience. Sometime in 2014, I founded MBA Okwa branch. So I was the chairman. He didn't want to listen to me. So on that particular day, I drove down to the village with my secretary, the secretary of MBA Okwa branch. And we met him. We met him where they were trying to settle the matter. In fact, they said they were almost concluding. I met him and I said, Dave, please, leave this thing. I will settle it. I'm assuring you now. I feel I have the capacity to talk to people and they will listen. He said, no. He now turned to my secretary and said, Agan Chichibe, and Emezi. My secretary said, yes now. And Emezi, I had not become a judge then. He said, no. We turned back and we left. The rest is history. Now, as a judge, what do I do in court? And that's what I want to share with you. I sit, because of the sit at home, we no longer sit on Mondays. Aba is a hot place, so nobody sits on Monday. I sit Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday in Aba. Thursday I sit in Omaya, because I was in Omaya before I came to Aba. On every day, on my docket, I have about 20, 30 matters. So my court is as full as this. And lawyers will be on this side and on this side. Of course, before I come in, I will pray to God and say, God, please help me. In fact, my prayer is, this seat I'm going to sit, come and sit with me. That's my prayer. So how do I handle these matters? Because it's not from what you have read. It's not from what is on the books. Because as a judge, you have to act spontaneously, out of the moment. And you must be in control of your court. It's not like election was obvious that this man who killed a 16-year-old boy has to go in for it. I tried to wriggle out, no problem. I tried to find a way, no problem. I couldn't. I called the chairman of the tribunal where I served, the first one in Uyom, a senior member, a woman. I said, Madam, this is my problem. She now asked me, what happened? I told her, within your mind, are you sure you committed the offense? I said, yes, I'm convinced. She said, go ahead and convict him. I said, okay, no problem, I'll do that. Because there's also the voice of somebody in the grave who is crying for justice. So you must give him justice. And that's what I did. And since I did that, I had peace of mind. Because the essence of being a judge is that you must go to bed and sleep. And if it is one thing I do, that is, my wife knows that before I put my head, I've already gone to bed. So in these matters that I have in court, how do I settle them? How have I been settling my matters? Now, like I said, I want to be a little bit moral and spiritual. If you read the book of Mark, chapter 11, that was the story. You remember that story when Jesus Christ was walking with his disciples and they met a fig tree, and Jesus wanted to take from that fig tree. And his disciples said, Master, there are no leaves on this fig tree. Jesus cursed that fig tree. That fig tree did not die immediately. They continued going. Until the second day, Peter, the very hot person, said, Master, that fig tree you cursed yesterday is withered. Jesus said, let me just tell you. You can, if you have faith, you can say to a mountain to move, and the mountain will move. But he now said something that I usually use. Said, whenever we all pray, we are Christians. And he said, whenever you pray, if anybody has offended you, forgive him. How will the Almighty God forgive you if you don't forgive your person? So one condition to prayer is that you must forgive. So before I pray, I first of all ask people to ask for forgiveness. That's one. Two, there's another condition to prayer. You remember John 11. Also read 11. That was one of the greatest miracles Jesus did on earth. What was that? Raising a dead man to life. Apart from walking on the sea. Now, when they told Jesus and said, look, your friend is dead. He said, don't forget it. When I get there, don't trouble me. By the third, fourth day, the Bible records that the body was stinking. So when Jesus came, and I said, roll the stone. And he said, he didn't go straight into prayer. He said, Father, I thank you. I thank you because you always hear my voice. So, there are two conditions to prayer. Forgiveness and thankfulness. He would have said, heal him. But he said, I thank you. So you must, if you are somebody who is very good in prayer, forgive first and then thank the Almighty God. Now, straight to what I want to teach you now. You see, when we talk about disputes, conflict, no matter the dimension, conflicts and dispute does not fall from the sky. That's what I want to draw. Conflicts and dispute are caused by human beings. What is it? Human beings. When we talk about AI, artificial intelligence, if you travel overseas and you see good roads, drive 20 kilometers, drive 30 kilometers, some people sat down and did it. It may be 3 persons. Others are now enjoying it. AI, robots, people sat down and created it. I was telling, okay, it's in DNA. I understand that apart from knowing the father of somebody, that there is now a DNA product that can even tell you where the father is from. Nigeria, or I told you. Now, but the truth is that some people sat down as we are now and did those things. It didn't fall from the sky. Good heads are caused by human beings. They didn't fall from the sky. When I sit in court and people tell me there's a land matter between A and B, and I will sit back and they will say, in the year 2020 or 2023, there was a dispute. And I ask myself, what are those things? Humility, credibility, honesty, integrity. So these are the human beings we are looking for. And they said, in any society where you have a high rate of people who are honest, people who are credible, people who have integrity, people who tell the truth, that society is likely to progress. That society is where you have people who tell lies, people who are dishonest, people who don't have integrity, people who don't tell the truth. And they gave two examples, Naples and Sicily. Naples is in northern Italy. So Sicily is in southern Italy. Naples is in northern Italy. Naples at least like Akirika to the other Abba. In Sicily, that is where you have the mafiosi. The mafia people, they kill. That you have the Godfather. Abba, which is Naples. Nice place. No problem. So what's the difference between these two? There's a problem. I had the opportunity of growing with my mother and my father, and I know what I had. If you visit children, settle. Everybody is right, everybody is wrong. It's more long lasting, especially when I see people from the same parenthood. You know, your father has left property for you. All of a sudden, two brothers are fighting it. And I will look at them and say, what are you people doing here? I'll ask the lawyers, why don't you go and settle this matter? And I said, no, because the lawyers are after their own money. And I will call them. You are the sinner. Woman does not want a dissolution. There are children of the marriage. That's not what the woman to do. So we want to appreciate that there are ways you settle matters. We call them alternative dispute resolution. If you look at page 21, you will see what I outlined. In our own local setting, the white man came and introduced the court system to us. It wasn't part of our system. It wasn't part of our system. The court system was not part of our system. All over Africa, they've developed ways of settling matters. And that is the way we should go. Alternative dispute resolution, mediation, negotiation. These are the white man's own, but we had our own. And how did it work? Page 21, I said institutions of conflict resolution. Eze in council, elders, village heads, masquerade system, age grades, hunter system, title men, oracles. In fact, there are places where you use oracles to settle. It's there. They use it. Omonna, clan, council of elders, village assembly. So we must, first of all, start being good persons. Start being credible. Start being truthful. They tell somebody, don't trespass into another person's land. Don't cause trouble when there is need, when there is no need for trouble. It doesn't pay. You go to court, you spend money. I'm not sorry for the lawyers who are here. I'm not saying you shouldn't make your money. But it's not only from litigation. When you know that that is the last resort, you go to court. Because it's not every settlement that you will succeed in settling. When you have tried and it doesn't work out, you can go to court. But try as much as possible to be truthful. Try to be honest. Try to be credible. Try to show integrity. But when the problem persists, seek further ways of settling. Call the person. Call him as much time as you can. Can we discuss? Because what we are doing here is part of settlement. It's part of agreeing. Like Jimmy Carter said, until both sides agree. We must agree. We are not created the same, so there must be disagreement. Who say we cannot disagree? We disagree. But that disagreement will bring maybe leaving secondary school. At 2021, leaving university. Maybe at Mbara here, the owner, 26, 27, getting a job, getting married, settling down. He gave Bruna 1 room now. He gave Bruna 1 bedroom flat. He got to 2 bedroom, back to 3 bedroom, Barotoro. It's stage to make you be matured. If you don't follow that stage, and then at 19 you're a millionaire. At 20, you may China. In fact, at 25, because of the way the wealth is coming, if you are question, I want to do the 60 really. You do it with dia. Even I hear question at 60, even at 30. Even chalano now. What are you doing in the world? So the Almighty God who has given you stages will now say, my son, you have seen everything in the world now. Come back home. He will take you back home now. So what it means is that you go on time.
That's a wonderful deliverable. Thank you so much, Honorable Justice Wanko. God bless you for this. May we cause onu na mmepa yi dewuro mmepa yi na reputa development onu na kara. That is what Akirika needs now. You know, I'm banned the Kutoku yesterday. I don't know who that. Nanya Akirika let people who have ideas. Akirika need solution that no one need from 1 to 3.
Chief Commander Socio-cultural.
Distraction. Ushers, please tell those people outside to come inside. Come in. Let us start in earnest. So the cashier will round up on time. We'll give you a chance to ask your questions. We have doctors here. We have professionals here. They will put their heads together and answer the questions. The one I guys are looking I get email address. Thank God our publicity secretary and public relation officer is here. Before I know, okay, set to our email address. English or suggestion. So a kind of suggestion box. English or questions. About and ATG.
The oration of Ojukwu before the Nigeria-Biafra war, when he said, I know some of us pay say we will fight like the wounded lion. We will fight with our backs against, so that the next generation will not say, in our days, there were no men. Inspirational talks, Nebulu, Ebulu, Obundemie, Elu. So is it like one you could to my do kuno me Lord Ojide, page 22. Page 22. Page 22. When my father died in 1981, you know, I'm going to say, I got punjem. Masiwe na papa mwana. When he was right? Oh, when you're nga konyo. Oh, when you're married. Oh, muchalama. Oh, I'm muchalama. We muchalama. One thing na about opera. Every time on about opera. They change the pad. I said no, me. I'll come back to tell my father's story. No, me. I got a 1 pint of blood. Another 2 weeks, another pint of blood. I beg one name gam a maracuca. Chineke nezuru mamere ya. Nanke we puna yard na apụta nyo mamere na passage. No onye ka zuma mere ya de ke de ma ona abobara. So na ga ganya njem. In fact, no one in more came the man's here. Nke we papa nkem. Oga kwon nke we bankem. Masa enyi. Imochara nwa. When you are dysfunctional uterine bleeding. I remove her womb. When you mean no, when you mean she. And that was the end of the story. Okay, we put the womb. Masa, man, Naga Galesa Mamma, also when you Zuma, very mamma, and a mansi. But on a serious note, sir, sorry, Your Lordship, I don't know when you checked your blood pressure last. Sorry? I don't know when you checked your blood pressure last. Just when? How long is this?
Over 2 months now.
Over?
2 months now.
Okay, so I've checked it this year. I might blood pressure. I might have blood pressure. No, I had an uncle. Other apata. We got a meeting on apata na mobu. Da. Edem na Lagos. I said, na alekuda. Maybe we'll check your blood pressure. Maybe we had a stroke. Or man, you didn't know my blood pressure. We made an arm of Buba. When you can't to you 1 year, it's not here. Me easy. What you do, then I my blood pressure. Eh? Okay, came up on me health center. You got a health center. I got a name. Eh? It may say, name my woman. I got a gym. When I got me a memo, I buy nigga now. Money for no one okay day me. But you check your blood sugar. Okay, blood sugar too. Thank you. You're very nice. Oh, cherry. No, sorry. Oh, cherry. You know, Edem na Red Cross, the life patron. So one of my boys, then Lagos, I post to Onitsha. Oh, phone see doctor. Nda uncle Zogaga. Not cherry, the man. In fact, I think that's what killed my mother. I'll get back to my father. Master cherry. Necrotizing fasciitis. Sorry. I say na nyojo de o. Ni de my hotel na I nebu zaga here before Gaurog. Masa, okay, Oga Orogo. Kaya, Odisa, Osana, Okwadum, Pachala, Okaga, Opopo, no Chile, Amados, no, sorry, Masa, no way, sorry. After 2 weeks, I'll phone him, you know, I'm the doctor there, now, nature, may discuss. The boy said, no, I'll do a lot better. Okay, Gaja, anyway, back to my father. Dr. Toby, now assuming now Dr. Muche can teach my father. So I knew that I was a young doctor then. My Dr. Toby, 1981, I was a young doctor. Though bad and Azumi for them, now my father won. Master was to be working my master. Your father died of heart failure. Master, how did you know? He was a much elderly person, Dr. Toby. My father, I had a prolapsed hemorrhoids. Mine anapopile. Also, none they knew we got to know when you can cause order, no when here's that in man. Pile, oh, you got now, you see, Boba, see here. Oh, Barbara. Oh, from big and I go to see if I'm working. All I could one. That's great too. We call game me. Here, Jack, I never. We call game me to see Potacha. That's what happened to me. I am from the airport. I was straight to Luth because I was a staff in Luth. I had to do hemorrhoidectomy. And when I say hemorrhoidectomy, so what I'm trying to bring out is that I need advance in technology and knowledge. Marino Nidum may Kige Bone one name or yours. That's number 2. After 1975, MA inaugurate or MA found the OAU. In fact, Gowon was overthrown that year because he was at Addis Ababa, I guess. Inauguration of OAU. Then health became a focus. 1975, health became a focus for African leaders. African leaders are who they make up Africa, particularly Nigeria. Then Professor Ansam Kuti by 1978 came up with the Basic Health Services Scheme. Kegeme Onyaole Genwe Nkogaga there and there. Also know that lower. Basic Health Services Scheme. Can you project it? Meaning that in a community like this, we are supposed to have a health post, a health clinic, and a health center. I'm talking from government perspective. So, and we had Professor Kuti insisted that they will open School of Health Technology in every state. And each community, each community gave my point. People will open various communities we got school, now that's School of Health Technology. And we got we train anyway, we got here, but take care of, but act as community nurses. Health for All by the year 2000 came. It was supposed to be mekata between government and the society and community working together to provide health and get one health. Health we na he neda wa lower. Health